Where am I? This explains a lot of things.
No, Snake, it's not over yet. We get even more Metal Gear parody with 100 Fires, Rise of Red Star's third and final chapter. For those who have no idea what they stumbled into, 100 Fires is a series of Metal Gear-inspired stealth games created by the indie developer David Amado Fernandez. Those games are of course supposed to be a hilarious parody of Metal Gear, but they also have a serious undertone, sometimes. If you want to know more about the 100 Fires series, make sure to watch the first and second review I did on it. Be warned though, the first two reviews, and obviously this one here, will have some heavy spoilers. So if you want to experience this parodical spectacle yourself, you better do so. Anyway, this is the third part of 100 Fires, Rise of Red Star, which is supposed to be released on the 25th of September. Fortunately, we got our hands on it before release to make this review, so here we go. The second episode of Rise of Red Star ended with a huge cliffhanger. The main character, Valero Montenegro, who is totally not Solid Snake, was finally reunited with his daughter Merche. However, at the end they were trapped on a Russian space station full of explosives and rigged to blow. While the man who originally recruited Montenegro, none other than JFK, the President of the United States, betrayed them and escaped with the flying Metal Gear-like weapon called Yanelis, because getting his hands on it was his plan all along, because apparently he was one of the lizard people. Look, I'm trying my best to make any sense of this, but even the game itself seems to be confused.
Do you understand anything about this game?
The Blue Lizard stole Yanelis, and they used her to transport the whole base to this planet just before the explosion. Now, we're on the planet of the Reptilians.
Yes, Montenegro's former commander, who is totally not Elche, also survived and reveals that JFK, who is actually a Blue Lizard, had transported the whole space station to another planet using Yanelis' power. Have I already mentioned that this game series is a total and utter brain f***? Well, I guess I don't need to anymore.
Another being from beyond any star. A being capable of managing time and space as he pleases. You see him looking like a Japanese developer, I see him looking like Lenin. But all this is because of his superior being, a god on Earth.
Oh, come on, another shameless self-insert, Mr. Fernandez? Yes, this is the developer of this game in all his glory. I just hope you won't turn out to be the final boss. So yes, the Japanese weapons developer and creator of Yanelis, who is totally not Kojima, turned out to be so much more. A superior being from space. The mighty...
Kojimbo.
Kojimbo. Oh my god. Yes, this also explains why the Metal Gear wannabe Yanelis is such an advanced technology with such insane abilities, and why the lizard people want it so much. It all makes sense now, right? Well, okay, before my brain leaves the chat for real, let's get this over with. So, since we are not on Earth anymore, we are not fighting normal soldiers, we are fighting lizard soldiers. Yes, the gameplay in this part is not much different from the previous two. It's actually just one big game split into 3 parts, because making games is not easy for indie developers, I guess. So the gameplay is just like in the early Metal Gear Solid games. You sneak and choke out enemies in a view from above. There is also the famous Solidon Raider in the corner, but you can also change to a modern third-person perspective, which makes the game a bit easier. You also have a trank gun to sleep enemies in addition to your normal guns, grenades, claymores and so on. The layout of the environment, however, is a bit more mazy in this one, so you have to figure out where to go sometimes. Sometimes you will also run into debris barricades which you need to blow up. Just make sure not to alert the soldiers, or they might gang up on you. But usually combat is not a problem, as the AI is not very smart here. You can of course go the stealthy route, but generally the third part does not have much of normal gameplay anyway. It's more about cutscenes and boss fights this time. And of course lots and lots of comediotic nonsense.
That means that global warming.
Yes, global warming is a worldwide plan to warm the planet and make it more pleasant for the lizards.
I always suspected it.
As for the boss fights, the first one you come across is the evil JFK himself, controlling Yaneli's. Certainly not a bad boss fight, as Yaneli's gets to shoot lasers from its eyes. Classic. Own some drones, and you actually have to pay attention where you stand, because there are some destructible environments, and if you don't pay attention, this can happen. The fight itself is no big deal though. Yaneli's itself might be invulnerable, but you can just snipe Kennedy, who stands on top of it like an idiot. There we go, so much for the stupid lizard. Wait, what? Well, of course it's not gonna be that easy, and oh no, he goes for the counterattack. Is this the end? Montenegro literally falls into the abyss. This is, however, where the higher being Kojimbo finally makes an entrance. At this point he will trash talk you a bit for being a failure and then traps you in a dark room. A dark void. A place you can only hope to escape if you use your special abilities. What could he mean by that? He is talking about the Raider, of course. He will also occasionally call you through the codec and make fun of it. You know, the usual force wall breaking. This game has a lot of it, and I mean a lot. However, escaping the dark rooms is no big deal at all. But behold, because after that, we have to face the toughest boss in the history of Metal Gear bosses. Pom pom pom! Do you remember it? The ladder in Snake Eater. Well, guess what? It's back. More menacing than ever before.
I'm going to make you a song to clean those stairs so you don't feel alone. I'm going to make you a song about Valero Montenegro. Never touch his balls. He was a good box and a glass eye. He is smarter than the big box, and in the war he survives. To save his daughter and go home, will do anything, even eat a tree frog. The president is a lizard, and the heart is far away. Infiltration and stealth, lost in space. Valero Montenegro, you never be a hero. Everything is lost. Soon you will meet his lord. The developer is waiting for you.
I decided to include the whole thing to make sure you suffer through it, as I did. But never mind that. We are finally back in the land of the living. Or are we?
Where am I? This explains a lot of things.
What did you expect? A field of white flowers?
Yes, it is time for the ultimate showdown, the ultimate confrontation with the mighty Kojimbo himself. And where else would be a better place than in a field of weed? Obviously they are making fun of the boss fight in Snake Eater, and guess what, this is actually a tough boss fight. As expected, Kojimbo is a formidable enemy. I mean, look at this, he's teleporting around, and what am I supposed to do here? Wait, what is this? Am I dead? Is this hell?
El capítulo número 4 trata de la soberbia. Todos nosotros.
I am not sure what just happened, but this cutscene played right as I died, and somehow it also bugged out and I was not even able to hit continue and had to restart the game This gave me some turn off the console now, this is an order flashbacks. Also, I found out that playing this game in classic view from above mode is actually much easier. I guess this is how it was intended to be played after all. And after you finally manage to beat the mighty Kojimbo, he has something to say. Something I really didn't expect.
Yes, Montenegro. You have discovered me. I am David Amado Fernandez. I am not the great video game creator I always wanted to be. All my life I've admired this Japanese developer. I tried to become him. I tried to imitate him. But in the end, I only managed to be myself.
Somehow, all the parody and fourth wall breaking aside, this got really serious all of a sudden, and I think this is actually the developer speaking from the heart. As I mentioned, the game can have some serious moments here and there, apparently even in that direction. But don't worry, there is enough of brainless fun and corny jokes as well. We still have to defeat the evil Kennedy lizard and save the world, literally. Overall, I think the Rising of the Red Star definitely delivers a worthy and decent ending to this little series of funny games. I especially liked the plot. Despite being really silly and comedic, it still kinda made sense in the end. I expected a silly boss and some more trolling, and there sure was some trolling, but the actual ending actually turned out to be surprisingly wholesome and pure. The thing is, Rising of Red Star is really something only Metal Gear fans can truly understand and enjoy. People who are not familiar with the Metal Gear series will probably raise their eyebrows and wonder what the heck is this supposed to be. The general gameplay is nothing special, the boss fights are actually quite fun, but once you have figured out how they work, they are pretty easy as well. There is also not really any replay value once you have completed the game, although there is actually a skin you can unlock once you beat it. So, all in all together, this is quite a fun, brainless adventure to waste some time on. If you are a Metal Gear fan, I do recommend you to give it a try. You will not be disappointed. And with that said, thank you all for watching, and see you around.